Sup y'all, Nick Padula here with a new type of video for the channel called Pads Reads, where I give my takes on books, whether that be literature, nonfiction, graphic novels, mangas, and manga, for those of you who may not know, are Japanese comic books. What we'll be starting with today is Attack on Titan, or in the native Japanese, Shingeki no Kyojin. Hope I'm pronouncing that right and I don't get death threats from super hardcore manga anime nerds. That'd be awkward. Most folks that know about anime and manga have almost definitely heard of either the manga itself or the animated series that later adapted it, which is how I discovered the manga in the first place. When I first saw Attack on Titan, I didn't have much of a reference point for how good anime could get. The only really special one I saw before that was Death Note, which I loved, and at the time I thought anime wasn't all that exciting a medium, I guess. The only Japanese animation that really stood out in my mind as masterworks is Hayao Miyazaki's stuff, like My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, all those classics. In this video, I'll discuss the anime and then move into the manga. So without further ado, sorry. Anyway, back in 2013, fresh out of the exciting and unpredictable world of Death Note, I was craving a show that could get me even half as invested as I was in that. So I'm not exactly sure what got me to stumble into Attack on Titan, but if I were to guess, I'd say it was probably an article that compared the narrative unpredictability of Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead to Attack on Titan. As a naive 20-year-old, I probably rolled my eyes at this thinking, what are they gonna do, Kamehameha? Jon Snow and Rick Grimes? Yeah, fucking right. But, I was wrong. Out of curiosity and a need to find something to fill the void of Death Note, I decided to check it out. Whew, boy oh boy, was I in for a surprise. Right out of the gate, bam! Main character's mom gets eaten by a giant, fucking, terrifying, naked, freaky monster thing. Whoa, shit, bruh! From there, it only got better, and I had to show all my friends this new great show, even if I had to fucking Clockwork Orange their eyes open. Weirdly, if you listen to the intro, it's in German, but it's a Japanese show. So it's a bit of a strange mix, but it still just hits you like boom, epic. And plus the story kind of takes place in what feels like a Eurocentric world. Like there's only one half Japanese character and everyone else in the main story is European. So I mean, the main character's name is Eren Yeager, and Yeager is German for hunter. So, I mean, they're clearly taking German elements from, history and stuff to mix it in. We find ourselves brought into this semi-medieval city surrounded by these big giant walls that you can't really get around. And we're introduced to three little kids, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. And they established themselves pretty quickly as very unique, separate personalities, but they all kind of need each other to, like, survive. And, you know, Eren's the stubborn one who refuses to surrender, which is both a good thing and sometimes an annoying thing because it makes him hard to get along with. Mikasa's just the brave one who kicks all kinds of ass, and I'd say she's probably my favorite character. And Armin is like the smart guy who's just a huge fucking coward, and although Mikasa's my favorite, I relate the most to Armin and his big fucking coconut hairdo, which I'm not the most proud of, but yar who yar. These three, they're together hanging out in this medieval city. Everything's quaint and pleasant. Eren, our main character, he's all excited about joining the Survey Corps, which is this military unit that explores the area beyond the walls the city's surrounded by. His parents don't really seem to be fans of this, but Eren, you know, as I said, is way too determined and stubborn to let them sway him. We see that his ideal dream may not be all that it's chalked up to be because the Survey Corps returns from a failed mission outside the walls with a lot of soldiers dead, injured, or missing. There's a really ominous moment where a mother looking for her son who was in the Survey Corps, she's looking for him either like dead or alive, dead so she can at least have closure for him. She's like, "Where's my son? Can I see him?" And this soldier's just looking at her all sad and stuff, and he just takes out this little, like, wrapped up thing, and he hands it to her, and they unwrap it, and it's just the dude's severed arm, because that's all they could retrieve from him. And I was just like, oh, this is serious. I mean, these Titans, they do not fuck around. They're just fucking nomming on people left and right just for fun, because apparently they don't even need to eat people to survive. Like, they don't eat people for sustenance, they eat them for fun. And it's just like, what kind of fucking monster just consumes living things because, like, oh boy howdy, I'm gonna go out and eat some people, gonna have some fun, then I'm gonna go home and have a nice steak, then follow that with a nice apple pie, and then lay down with my loving Titan wife and kiss my Titan kids goodnight and go to Titan sleep and have Titan dreams about eating more people. It's just like, it's hard to imagine. And so we think to ourselves, hey, Eren, maybe the military isn't the best idea because they don't have a very high success rate. Maybe consider a different career like carpentry, get involved in your local government, work in a store selling food or Titan killing equipment. I mean, this just kind of seems like a bad idea. And oh, holy fuck, what the fuck is that thing? Oh god! This giant skinless freak that's even more giant than the normal giants stands towering over the wall, looking down on all the city's citizens like they were ants or bacteria or something really fucking tiny. And just like that, the seemingly peaceful area of the Shiganshina district is thrown into pure chaos. This huge-ass, muscly creep kicks a hole in the wall, letting a whole bunch of these weird humanoid monsters in so they can start fucking up the city and eating people off the ground like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Eren and Mikasa try to rescue Eren's mom, but they're thwarted by this drunk soldier who then tries himself to rescue Eren's mom, but he gives up, nabs the kids, and he sprints away when he spots a spooky-ass Titan that looks suspiciously like Hillary Clinton. I'm just kidding about the Clinton thing. Not really, but a little bit, kind of, sort of, meh. Judge for yourself. Eren, of course, tries to fight the drunk dude so he can go back and help his mom, but he can only watch in horror as the woman who raised him is chopped in half. That's what we're in for. Oh, Christ. That's, the blood's getting, it's getting all over me. Oh, gross. Ew, it's, I didn't even know blood worked like that. Gonna definitely need a medieval shower after that. Whew. That is a lot of fucked up shit to process, especially for a little kid. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is just talking about the first episode, and shit only gets crazier from there. There's plot twists throughout the show that I would say rival The Walking Dead, if not Game of Thrones as well. Unlike The Walking Dead, at least with the show, the twists here are justified and don't exist solely for shock value. Like, oh no, lovable character number 7 just got eaten by zombies. Oh no, lovable character number 3 just got shot in the face by the main bad guy. Oh no, somewhat likable dude number 3 just sacrificed his life to save the main character and now he's lovable, but he's dead, so we can't find him lovable anymore. These twists are rooted in narrative and have purpose beyond making the audience go, I like that person, poopy. While the show mainly focuses on the 3 characters we met when they were kids, there's a massive roster of unique characters and complex background narratives happening at the same time as our big 3 going through their own struggles. And at times it's hard to keep track of, but after you watch enough of it, you could kind of piece it all together. But even where I am now in the manga, there's still a lot that I don't know that I'd like to know, but I'm not holding my breath because some mysteries stay mysteries. Once I finished season 1, I needed more. I craved more. They had a spin-off series, Attack on Titan Junior High, where the main characters like Eren, Mikasa, Armin are like little chibi kids, and they're not really fighting titans, they're just going on quirky, cute little kiddie adventures, and it's just like not canon, obviously, so I'm like, no thanks, I want the serious, dark, fucked up shit, please. But season 2 wouldn't come out for another 4 years, and I couldn't wait. I needed to find a way to get more of Mikasa and Eren and their whole gang, and finding out more about these giant, freaky mutant people. So I decided to read a manga for the first time. To be fair, it wasn't the first time I read a manga. Back when I was 11, I was in the library looking for books and I stumbled upon this manga, One Piece, and I looked at the cover and I was like, this looks fun. There's like pirates, and I like pirates because I'm an 11-year-old and all 11-year-olds like pirates, or ninjas, or one of the two. And then I like opened it like you would a Western book, and I'm like, wait, I just spoiled the end of the book for me. This is where, oh wait, mangas read backwards. And that's when I was like, oh shit, there's different cultures in the world besides American. This is weird. I like the manga a lot, but for some reason I just kind of forgot about One Piece and didn't bother to read future volumes. And I imagine if I did, my life would have gone down a very, very different path. I mean, not really. I'd still be a weird dork, but I'd be a weird dork that likes anime and manga. Not really that much of a difference between being a social outcast that likes video games and superheroes and being a social outcast that likes Japanese comics and Japanese animation. It's really just both avoid sports and get shoved into lockers and get swirlies, so really I don't know what difference it would have made. So with Attack on Titan, to make sure I didn't miss anything in the manga, like any like characters that they cut out of the anime, I read all the events leading up to the end of season 1. And to be fair, the anime actually stuck pretty close to what happens in the manga. Like, nothing really stood out to me as like, they should have kept that part in. It's not like Game of Thrones where the adaptation leaves a good amount to be desired. The animators and the writers of the show made a faithful adaptation. And then from there, I moved into uncharted territory that the show didn't cover, at least at the time, and I was in for a lot more crazy stuff than I even expected. I expected some crazy shit, but crazier shit was yet to come. So now I'm quite a bit ahead of where season 2 recently ended, and I'd say with how the show kind of takes out chunks from the manga, I'd say maybe I'm in season 4 territory. Don't want to spoil anything, but wee-wee, that is some good shit. On the emotional aspect of the plot and characters, there's quite a bit to be said. The series is filled with despair, horror, defeat, all these negative emotions. The first few episodes you might get the impression like, oh, this is a sad-ass show, everyone's dying all the time. But along with these tragic moments, there's plenty of hopeful and triumphant moments that restore your faith in the character's quest and humanity's struggle against the Titans. Not to use an overused phrase, but I found myself on a roller coaster ride of emotion. You wouldn't expect that in the same medium as like all those weird sexually exploitative anime like Seven Deadly Sins and I'd say Kill La Kill a little bit, but it kind of makes fun of that exploitation. No, okay, I don't want to get into that, but it's just very in-depth for how it makes you feel. At least for me. Isayama doesn't waste time having jiggly-boobed girls running around and bumping into the leading man so he gets an accidental grab of boobage. No nosebleeds from horny teens seeing ladies in swimsuits. I think I need to go to a hospital. There's a lot of blood loss going on. The show does have moments of humor in it, but for the most part, it's a very serious story and it doesn't waste time with crude sexual jokes like Seven Deadly Sins. Ugh. Sorry. No offense to you folks who might like it. There's one speech that Mikasa gave that really punched a hole right through the field center of my brain. Like,
I'm so sorry, Eren. I'm through giving up. I'll never give up again. Because if I die, these memories of you die with me. That's why I'll do whatever it takes to win, whatever it takes to live.
The bond between Mikasa and Eren is something beautiful that you just want to see develop. Like, you don't want to see them, like, have sex or, like, you know, kiss or anything. Their relationship, not, like, romantic relationship, but relationship as a whole, is like one of the driving forces behind a good amount of the plot elements. There's two really unique concepts from a aesthetic standpoint that I want to talk about that play out in both the story and just the look of the show. First off, we have the Titans, and the way they're drawn and later animated, I mean, oh, just look at those creeps. That isn't something you see every day unless you live in that universe, in which case you have my sympathy. They look like something out of a horror movie, but gigantic, which makes them even scarier. Gigantic like kaiju from one of those Japanese monster fighting shows. Along with how they look, their movements are strange and unpredictable, which adds to the viewer's discomfort and revulsion whenever they show up on screen or on page. The second cool concept is the way the Survey Corps and other military folks in the series fight the Titans. They do this with this steampunk Spider-Man-esque device called omnidirectional mobility gear that launches them into the air and makes them much harder for the Titans to catch. Using these devices, they get to new heights that one couldn't get to on their own, and on a level to hit Titans in their one weak spot. The ODM gear also comes with ultra-hard steel blades, which are the only things that can pierce Titan's skin besides explosives, and maybe some other incredible weapon we haven't seen yet. So, we got teenage kids zipping around like they're your friendly neighborhood web slinger, and we got sword fights against massive nightmare beasts. What more could you want? Well, if you did want more, there's also story, characters, and thrills out the wazoo. So that's my take on Shingeki no Kyojin. And there's more about it I'd like to talk about, but I don't want to get too carried away, and I think I've covered my most important points. If you haven't seen the show and you're hesitant about anime in general because you felt about how I felt about it previously, where I'm like, it's just dudes shooting giant balls of energy at each other, who gives a shit? Like, maybe give this a shot. Give Death Note a shot. Like, they're more grounded anime. I mean, when I say grounded, I don't mean entirely realistic because they have giant monsters that don't exist in real life, but they're realistic with their characters, the way the stories play out where the hero doesn't always succeed in the end. And I think it's really worth a shot for anyone who's hesitant about the medium in general. So, that wraps things up for my video on Attack on Titan. And I hope you all will give it a shot and maybe... What the fuck was that?